what's the rules after the show? Wake me at the harp, will you? Oh, dear me. Well, Jack, my lad, one more performance and no more doing and undoing of costumes. No more sighing and suing to Mr. Gilbert and Mr. Cart for a few more guineas. Just one more performance, and George Grossmith is a jesting free proposition, high ambition, and a lively wannabe, wag-a-wagging, never flagging. I don't know about that, Judy. Look at those wrinkles. Just to wish as he was dead. Not much longer, baby wag. Just one more yeoman, and we're on our own. Free from Mr. Gilbert's fetters ring. Hereupon we both agreed that all we two do agree to will secure by solemn deed to prevent all elemental you with yeoman out of stay and a crewnet with a new jack I'm finished and away. Let me show no singing solo. A crewnet with a new jack. Let me show no singing solo. Wag-a-wagging, never flagging. Say goodbye to the oh-so boy. Gee, he's now in his own employ. Matinees at an end, a salary tremendous. Say goodbye to the oh-so boy. No more Mr. S, no more Mr. G, no more Mr. C. What a lot of mess. For the tailor, coffin book, no dependence. Say goodbye to the soy. Cigarette? Oh, you shouldn't, you naughty thing. Wreck your throat and ruin your voice. Mind you, with a non-voice like yours, probably improve it. I know the value of a kindly chorus, especially when they cover on the high notes.
Mr. Richard Temple at stage door, please. Mr. Richard Temple.
Oh, there's Richard's fans again. Every Saturday matinee, those two of you come up from Orpington. Nice costume and fortune. Know all the operas better than we do. Even say the dialogue with us.
50 guesses who I'm off to see.
Little Buttercup and Caddyshack.
I sometimes wonder if the punishment fits the crime.
Ah, Richard, be a dear and give me love. Oh, don't tell him I'm leaving the company. I'm too old for these final farewells. Oh, and tell Bill no visitors. Say I'm with Mr. Cart.
Oh, you're telling a terrible story.
It doesn't diminish me glory. Oh, he's the one that Richard Temple. 300 yeomen we've done together. Twice that many Ricardos. Stay with the company the rest of his life, he will. That is, if Mr. Gilbert and Sir Arthur ever write any more operas. This new one, something about Venice and gondoliers and the Inquisition. Somebody promising to me. Another Ida if I don't watch out. Anyway, whatever it is, there'll be no GG in it, will there, you wag? Look! Ring forth, ye bells of clarions. Hello? Yes, Bill, that's right. Same with Mr. Cart. Yes to everybody. We're talking business, dear. Yeah. Who? Hillard T. what? Hillard T. Peabody. Sounds like a disease. The what? The Illustrated New York Journal. Oh! Basingstoke. I've forgotten all about him. Yes, he's coming to interview me. For my American tour. Costumes. Bill, don't go away. Costumes. Oh, Lord, these are 6 things. Bill, salvation, dear, everything's here. Yeah, listen, what's his name again? Hillard T. Peabody. Peabody. Don't go away. Right, Bill, send him down, love. Send him the long way, will you? Give him a chance to put the face on. Right, bye-bye. Ain't the pretty
the pay boss.
Tell her to drop dead. Or better still, tell her to go back to Orpington. If she needs a bag, she can take a friend with her.
They can have the second house.
Second house, modified rapture. Should be boiled in oil, both of them. 4 mils of lead.
Will you be needing me, Mr. Grossmith?
No, I will not be needing you now, Ernie. I need you when I come off stage, not half an hour afterwards.
But Mr. Denny has such a difficult change, Mr. Grossmith.
I know Mr. Denny has a difficult change, and I know he takes his time about it, and he's perfectly cast as the assistant tormentor, if you ask me.
But it's such a difficult change.
Go back to Mr. Denny, Ernie! Oh. Oh. Come in! Oh. Mr. Peabody, do come in. I've been expecting you. I'm sorry if you bumped into my dresser, or rather our dresser. Mr. Denny and I both share his invaluable services. He really is a very sweet man, is Ernie, but a disaster as a dresser. You sit down, won't you? Comfortable? Good. Yes, that's right. This is my last performance here at the Savoy. 11 years, I think. But now, new career. Solo performer. No, not Gilbert and Sullivan. No, I'll be performing my own works in America. Yeah. You don't mind me asking, what is that contraption you have there? Oh, a sodium camera. Oh. Mercy heavens. And you can actually print the photographs in a magazine. Well, how terribly clever. This is all very exciting. No, I'm not bored at all. After all, I am launching out into a new career. Yes, I do. I have some costumes, wigs and whatnot. Mr. Peabody, can you keep the photographs head and shoulders? Lovely. It's just that the whole thing would require Ernie's assistance. And my dear, he would be performing more than me. He really is a very sweet man, is Ernie. Being with Mr. Carts and Strauber Jury. Probably born in a leap year and can't be fired till he's 70 in 19. Ah, very good. Yes, it is pirates. My word, Mr. Peabody. We certainly are up on our GNS. How many have I played the lead in? Well, it's not such a little list. Let me see. Sorcerer. Pinafore, pirates, patience, Melanthe. Boring old Ida. Well, I was in 2 or 3 acts of that one. Ricardo, Radidor, Nango. That makes 9. Mind you, I did play the learned judge in trial by jury, but not the original production. No, it was one of Mr. Gilbert's charity performances. Yes, I was very nervous playing the learned judge. Even though I'd been a court reporter in my youth, did very well for myself too. Yes, Mr. Gilbert was a barrister of some sort, without much success. But rehearsals were like being in the dock. I recall at one stage we'd been over my song for more than an hour. Mr. Gilbert, we've been over this work 20 times at least.
What's this I hear, Grossmith?
I was just saying, sir, that we've been over this work until I feel a perfect fool.
Now we can speak on equal terms.
I beg your pardon.
I accept your apology.
One stage came to my dressing room.
My dear Grossmith, good isn't the word.
Our plaintiff was a rather stout lady. I can't think of her name now, but she once sang Wagner. At any rate, during rehearsals for trial, she came skipping into the courtroom, tripped and fell.
Very good, madam. Very good. I always thought that one day you would make an impression on the stage.
You know, I think he got more pleasure out of trial by jury than any other opera. Well, it was his own revenge on the legal profession for his own failure at the bar.
When I, good friends, was called to the bar in an appetite fresh and hearty, for I was as many young barristers are, an impecunious party. I just bought a tailcoat of a beautiful blue and a brief which I bought of a movie.
Mr. Gilbert had 19 briefs in 4 years.
A couple of straps and a collar or two and a ring that looked like a ruby. danced and danced like a semi-despondent fury, but I thought I never should be taught a chance of addressing a British jury. I soon got tired of third-class journeys and dinners of bread and water, so I fell in love with the rich and earnest elderly ugly daughter.
And we would hear mountains more of that elderly ugly daughter. Little Buttercup, Catasha, the Fairy Queen. My dear Rosina Brandon played them all beautifully.
The rich attorney, he jumped with joy, and replied to be fun professions.
You shall reap the reward of your plot, my boy, out of daily and little successions. You'll soon get used to her looks,
Said he.
and a very fine girl you'll find her. She may very well pass the 43 in the dusk with the light behind her.
The rich attorney was good as his word. The breach came trooping gaily, and every day my voice was heard in the sessions of ancient Bailey. All thieves so good my fees afford relied on my orations, and many a burglar I restored to his friends and his relations. At length I became as rich as the Gurneys, and intimate then I thought her. So I threw over that rich attorney's elderly ugly daughter. The rich attorney my character hide, and vainly to discourage.
Oh.
Yes. And now, if you please, I'm ready to try this breach of promise of marriage. For now I'm a judge, and a good judge too. Yes, now I'm a judge, and a good judge too. No, me no be fudge, never, never, never part. But I'll leave and hire a judge, and a good judge too. Thank you very much. You kindly go.
Can I move now? Give us such a fright. Still, photographs will be one for publicity. Oh, by the way, Mr. Peabody, how large is your readership? Really? Can I offer you a drink? Tea or whiskey? No, not bourbon, I'm afraid. Only the Scottish imitation. But very drinkable. Yes, I realize this sounds a little odd. Mr. Gilbert, you know, doesn't approve of the artist's drinking. Might have given a librettist scout. No, we do this all the time. The teacup brindisi. Even Mr. Cart often pops in for a quick cuppa. Milk? Sugar? Oh, and I'm so knowing as he has brewing a jar of tea. A jar of tea. One for myself. Your health, Mr. Peabody, and that of each of your 500,000 readers. How I got started? Well, all very different, modest and shy, really. I began as a penny reader around about 64. You know, recitations of Dickens, that sort of thing. Well, anyway, the vicar, a saintly man with worldly thought untainted, asked me for a few songs. So I wrote a few ballads, songs, and snatches, and very soon popular folk were inviting me to perform at their private parties. Oh, swear a fave. The eggs and the ham, the strawberry jam, the rollicking bun, and the gay Sally Lunn. More than a touch of your pirate cherry. Then a performance. Before I knew it, I was becoming a private buffoon. Oh, marry, sir! A pretty wit, I warrant you. A pretty wit. Dear old Jack Point. Best role Mr. Gilbert ever wrote, if you ask me. Well, yes, we cope, I suppose. I mean, they're both so mean in different ways. Sad and mischievous. Would you mind if I jumped behind the screen and got into some shreds and patches? Here's something I must tell you about a peculiar lad who sent his very peculiar butler to inquire about my entertainment.
Will Mr. Grossmith's entertainment be consistent?
Consistent?
Aye, consistent.
I'm sorry, I don't understand. Consistent with what?
Well, you must know that the laird is a stoic Presbyterian and wishes to know if your entertainment will be consistent.
My dear fellow, let me assure you that my entertainment will be consistent in every way. I'm very careful. I will make a point of singing only Presbyterian comic songs. Oh, you'll find some funny ones in this business. Very peculiar. the rest of mankind. He won all right-minded society's thanks by starting a paper whose columns were blanks. He made a great hit, though it may seem absurd, by a poem in which there was never a word. Oh dear, bless me, he was a peculiar man, a very peculiar man, and the notion quite true that he was a very peculiar man. Troubled his head, for he married his bride to the parson instead. Not among his relations did oddity cease, for his father was mother-in-law to his niece. He made every tradesman disperse his own bill. He had doctors when well and dismissed them of ill. He at last made a will which he left on the shelf, in which he left all that he had to himself. Oh dear, bless me, he was a peculiar man, a very peculiar man. And I trust that a few like this very peculiar, not you, Mr. Peabody, very peculiar man. Is it broken or something? You don't want one, why not? Well, yes, it is one of my own songs, very popular too. Ah, well, I presumed you wanted to tell your readers about my entertainment. Mr. Peabody, you are the one. However did you find that out? Yes, you're quite right. I do always perform in evening dress. It would rather spoil the glamour, wouldn't it? I'm very considerate of you. Another drink? There you go. Oh, speaking of evening dress, I was at my club, the Garret, up the road, and I was saying to Henry Irving, I said, you see, Henry, you now have to go and put on costume and makeup, while all I do is perform as I am, in evening dress.
Oh, yes,
He said,
but I've never seen anybody in London look as funny as you do in evening dress.
yes, well, as I was telling you. I'd just begun my autumn tour of '77 when I received a letter. I still carry it with me. Beefsteak Club, King William Street, Tuesday night. Dear Mr. Grossmith, I'm inclined to go on the stage for a time. There is a part in the new piece I am doing with Gilbert which I think you would play rather admirably. I can't find a good man for it. Let me have a line, or come to 9 Albert Mansions tomorrow after 4, or Thursday before 2:30. Yours sincerely, Arthur Sullivan. Such a lovely man, Sir Arthur. Oh, well, Mr. Sullivan as he was then. So anyway, off I went to Albert Mansions. Very grand, tasteful. Well, he was very charming to me, and after a few brief pleasantries, he sat at his piano and struck the 4th note in the treble clef, if you please. Sing that as loudly as you can. Ah! Beautiful. Then, accompanying himself, he sang.
Sure we can adjust to the pace. If anything anyone lacks, if I'm already in stacks, if you don't be looking at the rest of the gin of a 70 X.
Then he turned to me and said, "Can you do that?" I think I can, Mr. Sullivan. Very well. If you can do that, you can do the rest. So, off I went to Mr. Gilbert's at Bolton Gardens. A very opulent club. He was as nice could be. He made some very flattering remarks about my performances in trial by jury. More flattering indeed than he had ever been during rehearsal. But anyway, I told him that I had heard the Sorcerer's Song and felt that the role would suit me excellently. Except, as I said, for the role of a magician, I would have thought that one would require a fine man with a fine voice.
No! roared Mr. Gilbert. That is exactly what we don't want.
Then he proceeded to read me John Wellington Wells' opening speech.
We practice necromancy in all its branches. We've a choice assortment of wishing caps, divining rods, amulets, charms, and counter-charms. We can cast you nativity to low figure, we have an horoscope of 3 and 6 we can guarantee. Our devoted chests, each containing a patent dag that comes out and prophesies disasters, with the screen complete, is strongly recommended. Our penny curse, one of the cheapest things in the trade, is considered infallible. In fact, I would say the penny curses, especially on Saturday nights, is tremendous. We can't turn them out fast enough. Hi, my name is John Wellington Wells. I'm a dealer in magic and spells, in blessings and curses and never fill curses in prophecies, witches and bells. You want to grab my tracks? You're about to look in on the resident G number 70, Simmer the Yanks. We are friends for the magic. Oscar shade, with effects of the comical tragic. There's no cheaper house in the trade. Love fills you with quantities of it, and for knowledge if anyone burns. By keeping a very small profit, the profit which brings us unbounded returns. All you can prophesy with the wing of his side, give us security, into fertility, some of a history, clear up a mystery, human proclivity, for a nativity, for a nativity. His minister magical, tentacles tentacle, bow spectacular, answers oracular, faces economical, solemn or comical, and if you want any major deduction on taking your quantity, if anything anyone lacks, if a little bit in stats, if you don't look in on the resident G number 70, Simmer the Yanks. It's a time twist of that one. Hard to keep the breath. Still, that song changed my life. Mr. Carp offered me the role of John Wellington Wells. I accepted, and I've been with the company ever since. Yes, that's right, Pinafore was next. No. Ultimately, it was hugely successful, yes, but not at first. Oh, dear me, no. 78, I'll never forget it. Disastrous summer. You talk about your sons was raised and all ablaze. Stifling. Audiences melted, and me all dressed up as First Lord of the Admiralty. I lost half a stone off the old rum-tum, tummy. However, one Saturday afternoon, Sir Arthur played a pinafore selection at a summer concert. Very clever of him. Audiences suddenly picked up. Music became popular. And by September, my dear, they were queuing for matinees. And me, with my sisters and my cousins, which I reckoned up by dozens, I became that monarch of the sea, Sir Joseph Porter, KCB. When I was a lad, I served a term as office boy to a term as firm. I cleaned the windows and I swept the floor, and I polished up the handle on the big front door. I polished up the handle so carefully that now I am the ruler of the Queen's Navy. Of legal knowledge I acquired such a grip that they took me into the partnership, and that junior partnership, I ween, was the only ship I ever had seen. But that kind of ship so suited me that now I am the ruler of the Queen's Navy. I grew so rich that I was sent by pocket butter into Parliament. I always voted in the parties for, and I never thought of thinking for myself at all. I thought so little they rewarded me by making me the ruler of the Queen's Navy.
and you all may be rulers of the Queen's Navy. Mr. Gilbert has. Loves his own pipes and sailing the ocean blue. Mind you, this next piece about Venice sounds to me as if it'll sink in the Grand Canal. I don't think we'll be hearing much more of Gilbert and Sullivan. Partnership's running out of steam, almost on the rocks. Time for G.G. to jump ship and be his own captain, eh? Oh, excuse me. Hello? Rutland, how are you, love? How's the new play of yours going? Yes, well, I did read the notices. Sorry about that. And your stage manager, my favourite librettist, still charming as ever. I can imagine. Rutland, it is so sweet of you to ring. Yes, last one coming up. Listen, Jessie, Rosina, and Bridget are joining me afterwards for a little supper party. Nothing lavish. Can you join us? Oh? Oh, I see. Rutland, you naughty thing, you should. Listen, Chief, Mr. Gilbert's protege, dear, and if he finds out... Well, don't say I didn't warn you. Now, listen, if you can come, give us a call before the half, will you? Lovely. You too. Bye-bye. Oh, he's a wonder, Rutland Barrington. He left the company after the Mikado. The most wonderful pooh-bah. The characterization was he to a T. Joined us for Sorcerer. Gave the same performance every night for 9 months. Almost made me look like a singer. I recall one notice he received from Sorcerer.
Mr. Barrington is a wonderful Dr. Daly. He always manages to sing 1/16 the tone flat. It's so vicar-like.
One stage, Mr. Carp rushes backstage. Barrington, what's the matter? Someone in the stalls just ran out and told me you've been singing in tune. During a rehearsal for Pinafore, Mr. Gilbert said to Rutland in his usual manner,
Barrington, I want you to sit pensively on the ship's skylight.
Well, Rutland did, and typically the poor fellow fell straight through.
No!
Roared Mr. Gilbert.
That is expensively.
Yes, well, most people laugh. No, he may be the largest, my dear, but he certainly is not the greatest baritone in the world, is our Rutland. Long 700 performances I record him opening Act 2 of Pinafore.
The moon to the eye sing.
Kept the moon very wide awake, I think. It's fine, that's a word. This is a song of mine. I'm pitched my love in F and A, and I pitched my love in G. It may distress, but I must confess, I would pitch my love to the bottom of the sea, to the bottom of the sea, the sea. And so, from sailors to pilots, from Portsmouth to Penzance, the Major General song. You'd like to hear Mr. Gilbert's Major General song, would you? Know every word of it, do you? See how far you get.
smile is but a while of guile. This costume taste is but good taste, misplaced. Let me confess, a languid love for lilies does not blight me. Lank lips and agate cheeks do not delight me. I do not care for dirty greens by any means. I do not long for all one sees that's Japanese. I am not fond of uttering platitudes in stained glass attitudes. In short, my medievalism's affectation, born of a morbid love of admiration. If you're anxious for to shine in the hair-aesthetic line as a man of culture, you must get up all the germs of the transcendental terms and plot them everywhere. You must lie upon the daisies and discourse in novel phrases of your complicated state of mind. The meaning doesn't matter if it's only idle chat of a transcendental kind. And everyone will say, as you walk your mystic way, if this young man expresses himself in terms too deep for me, why, what a most particularly deep young man this deep young man must be. Then a sentimental passion of a vegetable fashion must excite your languid spleen, and attachment a la Plato to a bashful young potato or not to a French being. Though the Philistines will jostle you, rank as an apostle in your high aesthetic band. If you walk up Piccadilly with a poppy or a lily in your medieval hand, and everyone will say, as you walk your flowery way, if he's content with a vegetable love which would certainly not suit me, why, what a most particularly pure young man this pure young man must be. Young Robin Oakapple, one of my character roles now. Garment, makeup used to take me hours. Now I don't half the time. Oh, there's an suit. You like them? Yes, they're amusing, aren't they? My brother Whedon's illustrations for a little story I'm writing. Well, it's more to pass away the time than anything else. I mean, such is Mr. Gilbert's sense of play construction that I had one whole act off in Princess Basingstoke Ida.
What do you think sent down?
No thanks, Jessie dear, but you eat up big and I'll buy you a sandwich of rules.
Bit pricey. Remember, you'll be out of work then.
And you'll be out on your ear if you don't watch it. Now be off with you, or I'll tell Mr. Gilbert what you keep in your teapot. Please don't carry on, Jessie. What are we talking about? Oh, yes, the diary. Well, it was my brother Whedon who put me up to it, actually. He suggested that I fill in time backstage by writing someone's life story. I think it's a marvelous idea, but I don't seem to be able to find a suitable hero. Can you suggest anybody? He said, what, anybody? I said, yes. He said, anybody? Yes. Yes, anybody. He said, no, I can't think of anybody. He said, not anybody. He said, no, nobody. He said, nobody. He said, nobody. So I wrote The Diary of a Nobody. And this is the hero, Charles Puto, a nobody. And this is his house, the Laurels Brickfield Terrace, Holloway. This is his prim little wife, Carrie. Oh, yes. These are his two friends who keep dropping in, Cummings and going. Yes, it's my little joke. And this is his employer in the city, Mr. Purper. No, Puto's a clerk in the city. Here, you know the sort. For years, full of difference and natural timidity. Everything going wrong, nothing ever going right. Let me have a look. Oh, yes. This is a part of life.
I wrote this during I left. The Mansion House Ball. A big red letter day. This, the Lord Mayor's reception at the Mansion House. There was a splendid supper, any amount of champagne. Then, receiving a sharp slap on the shoulder, I turned, and to my amazement, saw a pharmacist, our highwayman. He said in a most familiar way,
This is better than Brickfield Terrace, eh?
I simply looked at him and said coolly, I never expected to see you here. He said with a loud, coarse laugh,
Ah, I like that. If you, why not me?
I replied, certainly. I only wish I could have thought of something better to say. Thereupon, I gave my arm to Carrie and said, Hey, my darling little wife will dance with me, if only for the sake of saying that we have danced at the Mansion House as guests of the Lahore Mayor. Then, knowing how much Carrie used to admire my dancing in the days gone by, I put my arm around her waist and we began to waltz. Well, lovely party. A most unfortunate accident occurred. I had just bought a new pair of boots, and I had scarcely started when, like lightning, my left foot slipped away and I came down, the side of my head striking the floor most violently. I need hardly say that Carrie fell with me with equal violence, breaking the comb in her hair and grazing her elbow. There was a roar of laughter, which was immediately checked when people found that we really had hurt ourselves. A gentleman assisted Carrie to her seat, and I expressed myself pretty strongly on the danger of having a plain, polished floor with no carpet to prevent people slipping. Pharmacist immediately observed in his loud voice, Ha ha! So it was you who went down. I answered with an indignant look. With execrable taste, he continued.
Now look here, old man. We're too old for this game. We must leave these capers to the youngsters.
Here,
Come and have another glass. That's more than our line.
although I felt I was buying his silence by accepting. Neither Carrie nor I, after our unfortunate mishap, felt inclined to stay longer. As we were departing, Farmerson yelled,
Are you going? If so, you might give me a lift.
He refused, and exited with dignity, but slipped. Now tell me, pray, and tell me true, what in the world should a poor man do? Oh, Buddha, even his waking hours were one long nightmare.
Unrequited robs me of me rest. Love, hopeless love, my ardent soul encumbers. Love, nightmare-like, lies heavy on me. Yes. And weaves itself into my midnight slumber. The counterpane goes and uncovers your toes, and your sheet slips demurely from under you.
The black-a-dingy goose you feel like it's tingle so terribly sharp is the pricking. You're hot and you're cross and you tumble and toss to the snubbing steward the ticking. Then the bed goes so clean to the ground in the heap and you pick them all up in a tangle. Next to pillow resigns and politely declines to remain at its usual angle. Will you get some repose in the form of a doze with hot eyeballs and head ever aching? But your slumbering teams such horrible dream that you'd very much better be waking. You dream you are crossing the channel and tossing about in a steamer from Harwich, which is something between a large mailing machine and a very small second-class carriage. And you're giving a treat, penny icicle meat, to a party of friends and relations. They're a ravenous sport, and they all came on board us and sweat at such particular stations. And following their journey, you find an attorney who started that morning from Devon. He's a bit undersized, and you don't seem surprised when he tells you he's only 11. We don't drive him right now with this singular lad by the fire ship's now a four-wheeler. And you're playing round games that he calls you bad names, and you tell him the ties pay the dealer. Well, this you can't stand, so you throw up your hands, and you find it as cold as an icicle. In your shirt and your socks and that silk clocks missing slow that he played on a bicycle. And he and the crew are on bicycles too, which is somehow or other invested in. And he's telling the tars and the particulars of a company he's interested in. It's a suite of devices to get at low prices or goods from pictures to cables. Which is not the same price to retailers as though they were all vegetables. You get to the station to run this more trains plus take off his nose with a boat stream. He's legs to take rooms and his fingers for shoes and no lost and bubbling a fruit stream. The grapes are treated with grape and grape tea, tonic palm, pineapple and cranberry. While peach from punch and brandy will run and both street corners and mandaries. The shares on a penny and ever so many are taken by Rothschild and Baring. And just as a few are allotted to you, you awake with a shot of despairing. You're a regular wreck with a crick in your neck, and no wonder you snore for your haste on the floor on your needles and pins for your soles to your fins. Your left is asleep and you're crab in your toe, to crab in your toe and a fly in your nose, to flop in your lung and a feverish tongue and a person that takes the general sense that you haven't been sleeping alone. But the darkness is past and it's daylight at last. The night has been long.
Ditto, ditto, my song.
And thank goodness they're over.
Now don't ask for an encore, but I'll do it. Okay, it's a favourite of mine too, when I've gotten through it. Let's have a drink. That's another nightmare. Well, I've met that. So awesome. You know, being a clown isn't as funny as it seems. You do have feelings. Though a certain person around here doesn't seem to think so. Ah, yes. There are plenty of nightmare songs here, in rehearsal. What am I ever going on about? I must be intoxicated by the pet, eh? What are we talking about then? Oh, yes, a nightmare song. Well, the audience has loved it. The Patty, you know. At least you didn't change the lyrics at the last moment in that anthem. Now, in Ida, my dear, I had only just learned the whole song and it was out. I was in such a muddle, I didn't know whether I was King Gama or the Dalai Lama. Drove me to distraction, I think. But it did give me an idea, one of my own songs. Now, I wrote this on Basingstoke Station. Teams with hidden meaning. There was a railway porter on the North South Eastern Line, whose intellect was limited and whose age was 69. His post was situated at the Muddle Puddle Junction. The station's name he called out indistinctly, but with unction. And all this porter had to do from morning, noon and night was to waggle to and fro a wretched bell with all his might. Start this sentence in a manner which you all must know. Change you for London, Jack and Peck and Bright.
his 30 years of service it was strange. His wages never were increased, was time to make a change. He thought he'd try another calling, earlier or later. So off to the Savoy he went and there became a waiter. But in his new vocation he in trouble quickly got. The first old gentleman who came required a dinner hot, and asked what other joints. He said, the joints are yes or no. The joints are London, Chatham, Peckham, Brighton, Margate. The joints are London, Chatham, Peckham, Brighton, Margate, Bow. He got dismissed, went away in misery and pain, determined that he never would the way to be again. I liked the originality, but didn't like the dreamer, who pulled the winter's cabin boy on board a river steamer. His duties were quite simple, for he merely had to shout instructions from the captain as the boat was turned about. But when she neared the tip of beer, he bellowed down below. Please take Jimmy's Peckham right bow. Don't say much now. This proved the climax of the porter and his pleasing way. The managing director said this sort of thing won't pay. They pensioned off this servant with a fitting honorarium that made him Hall porter at the Westminster Aquarium. And now if anyone inquires with condescending smile the way to see the octopus, he answers in this style. Down here for kidneys, Stepney, Stotter, and from jelly peas. The tanks are empty, turn the stern, potatoes, chat and cheese. The tanks are empty, turn the stern, potatoes, chat and cheese. Thank you, Mum.
More about Mr. Gilbert. My dear, do not get me going. Right, Garner, he is a twisted monster all awry, as though Dame Nature, angry with her work, had crumpled it in fitful petulance. For adder-like, his sting lay in his tongue. Crawshaw is a great enemy of mine. I could never understand his hostility, until I remembered that 37 years ago it was I who introduced him to the woman who is now his wife. What's Jones's new play called? The Princess's Nose. I hope it'll run. Can you call me a cab? Certainly, sir. You're a four-wheeler, but I'm afraid I cannot say you are handsome. Station Master, Metropolitan Line, Baker Street. Dear sir, Saturday afternoon, although occurring at regular and well-foreseen intervals, always takes this station by surprise. Tell me, sir, as editor of Punch, I would imagine you often have funny things sent in by outsiders.
Ah, yes, heaps.
Yes, well, why don't you print them? How's Bloody Gore going?
It's running over.
Ah, it's the same thing.
Is it? Then I suppose if I say I admire your ruddy countenance, it means I like your bloody cheek. There was an old man of St. Bees who was stung on the arm by a wasp. When asked, does it hurt, he replied, no, it doesn't. For I thought all the time 'twas a hornet. If you give me your attention, I will tell you what I am. I'm the jest, all other kinds are sham. Each little fault of temper and its social defect, in my erring fellow creatures I endeavor to correct. To all their little weaknesses I open people's eyes, and little plans to snub the self-sufficient I devise. I love my fellow creatures, I do all the good I can. Yet everybody says I'm such a disagreeable man, and I can't think why.
To compliments inflated I the withering reply, and vanity I always do my best to mortify. A charitable action I can skillfully dissect, and interesting motives I'm delighted to detect. I know everybody's income and what everybody earns, and I carefully compare it with the income tax returns. But to benefit humanity, however much I plan, yet everybody says I'm such a disagreeable man, and I can't think why. Well, we all know who Garma was based on, don't we? Mind you, I had all of that too to work it out. Sitting back here, letting the wrinkles cake on my face. Someone should tell him about play construction. One whole act. Sitting back here twiddling the thumbs. Thinks he's the only lyric writer in London. Well, Mr. Peabody, I can tell you something. I can do just as well and better. Meant to be leading the company, I am. First of all, we have one whole act off in Ida. Now Yeoman and Mr. Denny gets all the comic business. G.G. is just a played-out jester. Well, I can read the writing on the wall as well as in the script. No stars at the Savoy! Well, Mr. Peabody, let me tell you something. I will find my piece of sky to shine in. Bill, I thought I said no. Mr. Cart. Yes, I'm free, Mr. Cart. Your office, Mr. Cart? 5 minutes. I'll be there, Mr. Cart. No, not at all, Mr. Cart. Of course, Mr. Cart. Bye-bye, Mr. Cart. Mr. Cart. Wants to see me in his office. Shouldn't be very long. Oh, no, don't go. Got more to come. I wouldn't want 500,000 Americans to think that my Savoy career finished in the middle of Princess Ida. Oh, you know, I was wondering when you were going to ask me about the dear old polka. Yes, it's been a great success of mine. Actually, it almost decided me to leave the company, you know. Do you know that I learned more from that one song than a whole year's salary here at the Savoy? And with a bit of luck, I think I'll be dancing it to the day I die. Now, pour yourself a cup. Make it strong. I'll be back before you can say... I'll think for a set of lances, I'll think for the old quadrille, and I suit some canter dances, but the dumbness makes me ill. I'll think for a stately waltzing, which really is absurd, or a smart cotillion, and send it to the million. I will not waste a word. You should see me dance the polka. You should see me cover the ground. You should see me coattails flying as I jump me partner around. When the band commences play, me feet begin to go. For a rollicking, romping polka is the jolliest fun I know. Here we go. I've danced it in a ballroom, and then would dance it still. I've danced it in a small room, I've danced it on the hill, with every kind of partner, in every kind of hall. I've even had to suffer by dancing with a duffer who couldn't do a step at all. You should see me dance the polka. You should see me cover the ground. You should see me coattails flying as I jump me partner around. When the band commences playing, my feet begin to go. For a rollicking, romping polka is the jolliest fun I know. I know I'm rather active and not devoid of grace,
are harlequining and scarcely bear with me. I never asked to dances, but stay upon the shelf. But although I'm romantic, still as long as there's an attic, I dance it by myself. You should see me dance the polka. You should see me cover the ground. You should see me coattails flying as I hobble myself around. If I hear an organ play, so long as my strength don't give, I'll dance that rollicking polka the longest day I live. You should see me dance the polka. You should see me cover the ground. You should see me coattails flying as I jump me flying around. When the band commences playing, me feet begin to go. What a rollicking, romping polka is the jolliest fun I know. Don't get up. You wouldn't want to know, I walked into Mr. Cart's office and there they were, Mr. Gilbert and Sir Arthur. I thought he was still in Monte Carlo. Presented me with this. To George Grossmith, in appreciation for 9 years' service at the Opera Comique and the Savoy. Signed W.S. Gilbert, Richard Doyley Cart, and Sir Arthur Sullivan. Must have been Sir Arthur's idea. Nearly down, nearly, I need the cover. Here's how we do. Well, here is a howdy-do. I didn't know what to say. Mr. Gilbert was so nice. Dear Sir Arthur, wished me well in my new career. Do you know, I think he came back especially with the presentation. It's a beautiful thing, isn't it? Mr. Gilbert was so nice. He actually thanked me for 9 years' service here. Thanked me, I had to sit down. He was charming. Well, pleasant anyway. And I said he was just like Garman. Yeah, he certainly called my bluff. Guess who the cat fits now? When I spoke sarcastic, Joe greeted me with manners spiteful. This people mild, polite, smiled and noted me delightful. When a white sits up all night and nature jokes delighting, and all these wiles and ever smiles, it's hard as no despising. Oh, don't the nation like it long when all goes right and nothing goes wrong. It isn't like extremely fat, and there's nothing whatever it ground. Watching me like a poised hawk for any funny business, you can be sure of that. Releasing and prosecuting me to the end. I do hope you will use this little presentation in your article. So understandable. No. Well, did I tell you about he and Rutland during Ida? Act 1 finale, just before I disappear. You know, when Hilarious Bride has at length complied, suddenly stops. Mr. Barrington, something is radically wrong with this song. Either you don't understand it or I don't. Well, I think I understand it, Sir Arthur. Yes, perhaps you do. That's the worst of being a composer. One always begins at the wrong end of the stick. In future, I shall start at the other end. I'll get you to sing my songs first, then I'll compose them after. During Patience, I had a frightful toothache. Face out to here. I looked like a pumpkin. Well, Sir Arthur came backstage and said how sorry he was. I said, oh, I don't mind the pain. It's just that I can't stand looking such an awful fright. Never mind, my dear Gigi. It's a great improvement. You never look better.
Jessie Bond telling Sir Arthur that she had opening night nerves just before Yeoman. Never mind, my dear, they soon wear off. We all love him, you know. Yes, it must have been his idea.
I'm back, darling. Couldn't find a thing to eat. I'm starving.
I'll get Ernie to bring you a cold pie.
George sends his love. Still after me, but not offering enough.
But you held out, dear. You'll get it in the end. You're famous after all, a Savoy star.
Yes, from Hebe to Phoebe. Still not bad for a Stepney lass. Well, hey-ho, and off I go.
Sing hoity-to. Oh, I must explain. That's George Edwards he's talking about. Runs the Gaiety. Done very well for himself. Was Mr. Cart's business manager before he went out on his own. Wonderful shows, the Gaiety. Loved the Gaiety girl. What's that new one? Shop Girl. Yeah, that's Pam. They're a lot spicier than the Savoy, though. Mr. Gilbert doesn't approve. Oh, but his name was money. George Edwards, I know. I told Jessie to hold out for 40 guineas a week. He was after me for the time, you know, when he heard I was leaving here. But you see, solo, I can earn more in one night than he pays me in a whole week. Marvellous shows, that. Lovely ladies. You know, I'd be jolly good then, if they could afford me. Supposing you are down in your luck and feeling very blue, you cannot work, you cannot sleep, and don't know what to do. You feel an evening and the rain will keep your spirits up. It's better than the cheer from the inebriating cup. But is that the time to see a play wherein the heroine cries, and then goes mad, scoring her hair, and eventually dies? You know the sort of play I mean. 5 acts, 5 hours, and 5 corpses on the stage. Now, is that the sort of piece to cheer you up? Nope, certainly not. So, off we go to the Gaiety, so that's the place for me. My feet go so with the tunes, I know they're full of melody. They're the beautiful girls, the beautiful scenes, and rollicking company. You never fall asleep, just all of the jolly old Gaiety. Supposing you receive a letter from your banker tantamount, who says you must no longer overdraw your small account. Suppose you find your partner whom you trusted gone to smash. You're without an ounce of sympathy, without a pound of cash. But is that the time to see a play where innocence is tried, with a shipwreck and 3 murders and a dismal suicide? Now you know the sort of play I mean. Innocent father tried for murder. Child principal witness. Young one, isn't she? Everyone also innocent. Flung off precipice. Locked in house by villain in evening dress. Who smokes like a chimney and then sets fire to the place. Although all goes right to the end. Oh, it isn't cheerful, is it? No, certainly not. Gaiety, for that's the place for me. My feet go so with the tunes, I know they're full of melody. They're the beautiful girls and beautiful scenes and rollicking company. You never fall asleep with just all of the jolly old Gaiety. Supposing you receive a note that anything but cheers, it comes from her to whom you've been engaged for several years. She tells you very plainly that the little match is off. You try to check the coming tear, but can't the little cough. But is that the time to see a play about an Ibsen curse, where the men are very wicked, and the women even worse? You know the sort of play I mean. Problem play. Beautiful wife all of a sudden turns diva and stabs husband all over. Then puts candles all around. that during Ruddigore. Well, that second act melodrama got me down a bit.
Mr. Cellier wanted at stage door, please. Mr. Cellier.
It's Frank, our conductor. Yes, it is a funny show, Ruddigore. Lovely part, good songs, but somehow or other didn't come off. Or rather, I suppose it did come off. Everybody talks about it now as being a failure. Mind you, I suppose after the Mikado it was. Still, we got 8 months out of it, and most plays would be happy to half that. Sir Arthur made £7,000 from it, he told me. What a time I had of it there. For one thing, my second act solo was cut on the third night. You know, Baron, it's a rank is exceedingly nice, but the title's uncommonly dear as the price. Hose up the action, he said. Makes GG too popular, what he meant. Next thing, he'll be in Cart's office saying that the Savoy can't survive without him, and then demanding more money. There are no stars at the Savoy, only principal players. Well, Mr. Peabody, let me tell you something. The title is uncommonly dear at the price. Away remorse, from hunks and hence, oh, muddle force, oh, penitence. Really? No, there is only one way to survive at the Savoy. My boy, you may take it from me that of all the afflictions accursed, with which a man's held and hammered and daddled and different face is the worst. How clever as clever can be, a crichton of early romance, you must stir it and stomp it and blow and trumpet or trust, for you haven't a chance. See your marriage about to be passed. You must stir and stumble and blow and trumpet and trust me, you haven't a chance. But you know, even that little masterpiece, you would have thought Ruddigore would have become more popular. Wonderful stuff, all that gives business, though. What with portraits coming to life and whatnot. Still, they can't all be successes, I suppose. It's strange, though, melodrama's all the rage at the moment. What with Irving's Bells, Tree, and all that lot. But the one Savoy melodrama doesn't catch. Rose and Kisses of it. Speaking of Irving, my brother Wheaton tells me that at the Lyceum, Irving comes on stage groping for perfection. While at the Savoy, Mr. Gilbert walks into the rehearsal room with perfection in his pocket.
15 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. 15 minutes.
Joe and Lily. He calls it warming up. I call it brewing. It's once in a Scottish production of Martyr. Royal Shetland Opera Company, I suppose. Just listen to this. Every blessed night we go through the same thing, and it puts our French for life, it won't. The word prestige may be French, my dear, but listening to that, you can hear how he paralyzed the parlez-vous. Oh, dear. Actually, I've dedicated a little song to do it. It's called French Birds, and I hope he will decline to sing it. Le Brasserie. Translation loses a bit. Sounds a trifle repetitive. Actually, there's a Japanese version I do remember. Miyasama, Miyasama. Lord the Mikado. That brings it on. Do you know that he almost cut Richard Temple's Mikado song on opening night? Yes, really. You know, my object all sublime, I shall achieve what it didn't achieve in time at all. From Jessie and all the girls to keep it in. Don't talk to me about Mikado. Agony. Hell.
Wrong, Grossmith! Wrong!
Please, Mr. Gilbert, I know my lines.
I'm sure you do, but would you please be so kind as to repeat mine? Don't enter like that, Grossmith. There are no comic men here. Your part is meant to be funny. Grossmith, you and Miss Bond will immediately cease that vulgar business.
Certainly, sir, if you wish it, but I know I'll get an enormous laugh by it.
So you wanted your sat on a pork pie.
6 weeks. 6 weeks of that running river of harmless merriment, my dear. By opening night, I was a nervous wreck. Please don't drink this, but morphine was the only thing that kept me going. And if it wasn't for Rutland and Jessie, I would never go on at all. And when I did, it was a disaster. And miscues, blocked lines, dried in the little lift song. Everybody forgets that now. Coco is a triumph. Gigi, the only one. Well, the story on opening night was very different. It would be unfair to judge Mr. Grossmith's performance until such time as he has mastered the dialogue. An exceptionally nervous Mr. Grossmith gave a hesitant performance of the Lord High Executioner. The potential, however, seems there. Potential. 9 years for this management, and that is what I am reduced to, potential. Who created all the roles? Who slaves his guts out every night tossing tongue twisters to the gallery? Not him, oh no. The flowers that bloom in the spring trailer have nothing to do with this case. Yes? Yes!
Here, Mr. Grossmith, last pose.
Last pose, last blooming judgment, excuse me. Lord, just as well they're not bills. It's okay, I mean, there's no need to come back tonight. Oh, any mail for Mr. Denny? Really? That makes 2 this month. His mother must have seen the show again. If anything anyone lacks, you'll find it already in stacks. Drawerfuls of them. Half the wonderful, the other half. So. Dear Mr. Grossmith, I'm sure you'll remember me. I wrote you the acting notes after Radigo and the Omen. Oh, he's a right one. He sent me a dozen pages on how to improve my performance. Comes every Tuesday with his aunt from the Arcadian Vale of Peck. I recently auditioned for Mr. Cart, who kindly told me how much he liked my interpretation of the Rodigo Potter Trio. Unfortunately, he only had time to hear down to a little mad and generally silly, but suggested I might try for the chorus in a year or so. I didn't have time to correct his misunderstanding. My voice and talents are not suited to chorus roles, and I was hoping you could arrange for me to understudy your parts with a view to succeeding you should you leave the salon. Enclosed separately are some further notes for a fuller interpretation of Jack Point. Awaiting your early reply, I remain your obedient servant, Herbert Snade. P.S. My aunt's rheumatism is much better. We'll be installed next Tuesday. Yes, exactly. People don't believe me when I tell them. Barney, half of them, the other half should be locked up. And that's what I mean when I say what I sing. Dear Mr. Grossmith, I am not one of your wanton roses with pretty lips about it, but a violet half hidden in a nest of weeds and nettles. Oh, she's a professional, this one. I am only 42, if not far from Islington, quite handy to the theatre. As you can see, I'm well spoken. A fervent lover of all things Savoy, and the one in E27 you always smile at encores. I've never seen her in my life. And anyway, with these new electric lights, you can't see past the third row. For years I have loved your performances, and feel that I know you professionally, so to speak, as I am a distant cousin of Mr. Dennis. I know that when we are married, brighten will dawn our wedding day. What though mortal joys be hollow, pleasures come if sorrows follow. Ding dong. Write to me at the above address. I wait for you always in love at E27. Your own fairy queen and little buttercup, Maud Pembroke. Miss. Are you old enough to marry, do you think? Won't you wait until you're 18 in the shade? There's a fascination frantic of a ruin that's romantic. Do you think you are sufficiently decayed? You know, it takes me hours each week just to answer. Mind you, I am much touched by this reception. I can only trust that by strict attention to duty, I shall ensure a continuance of those favours which it will ever be my study to deserve. If I should ever be called upon to act professionally, I am happy to think that there will be no difficulty in finding plenty of people whose loss will be a distinct gain to society at large. As someday it may happen that a victim must be found, I've got a little list of Savoy buff offenders who might well be underground and who never would be missed. There's the audience that encore after encore will prolong. The Hampstead wife whose 2-year-old can sing the nightmare song. The GNSO spinster that proposed to me in hers. That lady in the second row who sings the best words. And that monstrous Grossmith, stop it, Grossmith, opera librettist. Well, I don't think he'd be missed. I'm sure he'd not be missed.
Overture, Miss Bond and Mr. Denny. Overture, Miss Bond and Mr. Denny.
That's funny, Jessie usually pops in before a call. Maybe a few more lines of youth for tonight. Let's get ready, myself.
Doleful, doleful, when you marry, with its soulful lust and energy.
All hell has let loose now, like a farmyard in mating season. Excuse me, I'm just jumping to the jacket. line to give yourself.
Let's lay an order doing a Donizetti.
That me? No, never bother. No much to warm up. Is life a boon? Not when you live under that, it's not. Dear Rosina, lining up the torture.
Dear Mr. Denny lays on cue as usual.
Well, it works better than all that. Better stay and watch, won't you, Mr. Peabody?
Mr. Cellier, please. Overture. Mr. Cellier, please.
Dear friend, wonderful conducting, then. Did you know that his brother Alfred wrote most of the overtures? Well, what with songs arriving so late, Sir Arthur really had time for anything like that. Sir Arthur did all that. No, Sir Arthur only conducts opening nights. Or if British comes. Or Mrs. Rowland. Mrs. Rowland, rather a special friend of his. American. I wouldn't mention that about you. It's a private arrangement. Yes, well, Mr. Gilbert was a soldier too, as I've already. Hoppers are full of them. Privates to majors, generals. Is it any wonder he commands us troops on stage like a field marshal at war? Doesn't take any prisoners either, just wipes out the enemy. Comic operas there may be from out front, Mr. Peabody, but back here, very different story. More like the trenches. I have to leave, you know. Becoming just like Gilbert's comedians. They're becoming like me. Frustrated. Ineffectual. Always singing the same old song. There's no else to laugh at. Laugh at yourself. Right. Well, I am through with this authority. No amount of gondoliering or comic grand inquisitoring will make me stay here one minute longer.
Grossmith!
Yes, Mr. Gilbert.
Anything the matter?
No, Mr. Gilbert.
Good. I thought for a moment you were reverting into a private buffoon.
So a private buffoon is a light-hearted loon if you listen to popular rules. From the morn to the night, so choice and bright and he bows of wit and review. His acquaintance of touch, but in prose and immersion, and people for his transgression. There are one or two rules. All family fools must observe in our profession. There are one or two rules, half a dozen maybe, for family fools of every degree. Observe in our profession. If you wish to succeed as a jester, you need to consider each person's origin. What is all right for B would quite scandalize C, for C is so very particular. And D may be dull, and E's very thick skull is as empty of brains as a ladle, while F is F sharp. And you'll cry to the car, is known your best joke from his cradle. When you're doing with it, you can't let yourself go, but it does put you out when a person says, "Oh,
I've known that old joke from my cradle.
Though your head is mere racked with a bilious attack and your senses with toothache you're losing, don't be low for your flat, they don't find you for that, if you're properly quaint and amusing. Though your wife ran away with a soldier that day, took with her your trifle of money. Bless your heart, exceedingly kind. I don't blame you, so long as you're funny. It's a comfort to feel that your partner should flit. Though you suffer a deal, they don't mind it a bit. They don't blame you, so long as you're funny. Just have a look, see where we are. Heavens, Jessie's on. Who's the baby talking, not coming? That's all right, we've still got 15 minutes. Lord, they shouldn't be putting through calls now. Mr. Clark will be furious. Hello? Right, it's you. Hey, I might have known you'd get through. What? You're the little girl on the switchboard, do you? Since Ida. Got them everywhere, haven't you? This is about tonight, can you or can't you? Ha! I told you he would, dear. That's Mr. Gilbert's style. But now listen, never mind the wine wherefore. Can you come or can't you? Lovely. What time do you come down? Well, I die around about 11. Good. We'll meet you at 1/2 at Rules. Lovely. All right, you too, love. Bye-bye. He's a one about them. Yeah, the ladies adore him and he loves it. Really knows his worth. Pray, make no mistake. He's not shy, very wide awake. See where we are.
Didn't become a head jigger because I made head jigger.
Yes, well, this is Mr. Denny down. Wish I could do that on the stage. Now, if he could act or sing like dear Rosina, oh, glorious voice. I used to love listening to her during the Mikado, the living eye aria. You know, she took that high G as if it was Covent Garden. One of my favourite scenes, too. Oh, Katisha! For years I have loved you with a white-hot passion that is slowly but surely consuming me very vitals. Ah! Shrink not from me. If there is aught of woman's mercy in your heart, turn not away from a lovesick suppliant, whose every fibre thrills at your timeless touch. True it is that under a poor mask of disgust, I have endeavoured to conceal a passion whose inner fires are broiling the very soul within me. But the fire will not be smothered. It defies all attempts of extinction, and breaking forth all the more eagerly from its long restraint, declares itself in words that will not be weighed, that cannot be schooled, that should not be too severely criticised. Oh, Candice, I dare not hope for your love, but I will not live without it. Darling! You, whose hands still reek with the blood of my betrothed, dare not to address words of passion to the woman you have so foully wronged. I do. Accept my love, or I perish on the spot. Ah! Go to! Who knows so well as I that no man ever yet died of a broken heart? You know not what you say. Listen. On a tree by a river, a little floating, sang willow, tit willow, tit willow. And I said to him, Zippy bird, why do you sing, singing willow, tit willow, tit willow? Is it weakness of intellect, birdie, I cried, or a rather tough worm in your little inside? With a shake of his poor little head, it lies. Willow, tit willow, tit willow. He slapped at his chest as he sat on that bough, singing willow, tit willow, tit willow. And a cold perspiration bespangled his brow. Oh, willow, tit willow, tit willow. He sobbed and he sighed, and the gurgle he gave, then he plunged himself into the billowy wave. And an echo arose from the still beside the grave. Willow, tit willow, now I feel just as sure as I'm sure that my name isn't Willow, tit willow, tit willow. might agree with that either. Yeah, the two songs I like most are both sad. You know, it's funny singing particularly with Jack Boyd. Yet it seems right tonight, doesn't it? I mean, it's just the sort of song Jack would have in his repertoire. Oh, it's a crazy world. Virtue is only triumphant in theatrical performances. And in America, Mr. Peabody. Look, see? Dear Rosie. As Mr. Gilbert once said, a glorious voice that rose out as full-blooded burgundy rolls down. Now, there is something I would like to do for you. No, it's all right. It's pretty famous. Frank has gone through all of the operas, and he's made a little medley of some of my successes. Wag that I am, I rather cleverly called the whole thing The Sorcerer Pirates of HMS Princess Hylanthi of Titipu. Or, more accurately, Trial by Ruddy Patience. Be not enraged, I may not love you, for I am engaged to a maiden fair with bright brown hair and a sweet and simple smile, who smiles at me of a sounding sea on a South Pacific isle. Alas, no maiden waits for me. Alas, no maiden smiles on me. I'm a sounding sea, a sounding sea. Never mind who I am, wherefore up in leather ranks, and therefore, though your nautical conviction in my sense will scarcely pass, though you occupy a station in the lower middle class. Ring the merry bells of fortune, rend the air with warbling wild, for the union of the lordship and the humble captain's child, the humble captain's daughter, the gallant captain's daughter, the lord who rules the water, the tar who plows the water. Let the air with joy, the maiden friend with songs the air about, for the union of the maiden and the man who earns her love. I'm telling a terrible story, but it doesn't diminish my glory, for they would have taken me to hunters over the billowy waters if I hadn't a delicate diction, indulged in innocent fiction, which is not in the same category as telling a regular terrible story. I tell him that unless he will consent to be more jocular, I'll sing both you, and that's what you should say. To cut his curly hair and stick an eyeglass in his ocular, sing both you, and that's what you should say. To start his conversation full of pupil and with the day to dine on chops and folding with the business. He made him clear away with all the beats, the billy, sing both you, and that's what you should sing, and then sing by you, and that's what you should sing.
it doesn't matter, this particular dilemma, unintelligible patterns, generally heard this doesn't matter. If that is so, take daddy down, daddy, it's evident, daddy, out to someone. Away will go and daddy, daddy, oh, daddy, daddy, oh, daddy, is done. That is so, take daddy down, daddy, it's evident, daddy, out to someone. Away will go and daddy, daddy, oh, daddy, daddy, oh, daddy, is done. Daddy down, daddy, oh, daddy, daddy, oh, daddy, daddy, oh, daddy. Here's the state of things. Two allied siblings. Matrimonial devotion doesn't seem to suit the notion. Daddy, oh, little things. Oh, here's the state of things. Oh, here's the state of things. Without passion, that's impetuous and sensual to ignore. If what he says is true, he says to marry you. Here's a pretty state of things. Here's a pretty how they do. Here's a pretty state of things. A pretty state of things. Here's a holy. Here's a holy. Here's a house. What he says is true. He cannot marry you. Here's a pretty state of things. Here's a pretty howdy-do.
Mr. Grossmith, sir, you're late. Chorus is on any moment now.
Right, don't worry, Ernie, don't panic, Mr. Peabody. Tell Leonora I won't be long. Ernie's such a fuss, you know, there's really minutes. Thanks, Gussie. Do stay and watch from the wings, won't you, Mr. Peabody? My last Jack point. There should be a story in that. At least it's not summer. I may have had to have died perchance in June. Joystick. Come along, Mr. Peabody. Mustache, jibe, joke, and jollify. Marry, sir, I have a pretty wit. I can rhyme you extempore. I can convulse you with quip and conundrum. I had a light prostate my comes. I can be merry, wise, quaint, grim, and sardonic. One by one or all at once. I have a pretty turn, very good. I know all the jests, ancient, modern, past, present, and to come. I can riddle you from dawn of day, set of sun, and if that content or not, well on to midnight in the small hours. Oh, sir, a pretty wit, I want you. A pretty, pretty wit. I've wisdom from the east and from the west. That's subject to no academic rule. You may find it in the jeering of a jest, or distilled from the folly of a fool. I can teach you with a quip, if I the mind. I can trick you into learning with a laugh. Oh, we know all my folly, 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 and you'll find a grain or two of truth among the chaff. Oh, we know all my folly, 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 and you'll find a grain or two of truth among the chaff. Jailer that was, jailer that never shall be more, and jailer that jailed not, but the jail if jail he did is so unjailed, that was not jelly jailing or jailing is jailing. There's no joke in evil by unjailed like jailing, it's a jailed as it did. Come, take heart, laugh, smile, wink, twinkle, thou tormentor that tormentest not, thou racker that rackest not, thou pincher out of place come, take heart, be merry as I am. Oh, have we not all called to humility? Is not the world a big pot of humor into which all who will may fly and begin? See, I am a salary with the not else in nature more ridiculous. For thou, broken-hearted man, must needs be merry lest you be weak. You must rejoice. Must jive you, joke you, quip you, crank you, rap you from hour to hour, from day to day, from year to year, lest it dwindle, perish, starve, pine, and die. evening's festa, heart is led. Food for fishes, only fit, just a wish he was dead. Food for fishes, only fit, just a wish he was dead.